She's on.
How many's on?
Yeah.
Want your feet on paper?
I know.
That might seem just money.
Oh my gosh. Stop.
The first one, she just dropped her feet out. Have to shut the on her.
Call this meeting to order. Melinda's going to lead us in prayer and Mary in pledge.
Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us all here tonight. Thank you for your son this Easter month. We all want to celebrate his death and the love that he had for us. Please watch over our community as they travel back and forth through all the different events that we have. And please guide us through this meeting as always. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
All right, Brandy Rance. Bo Barton.
Here.
Melinda Ballard. Here. Baron Glass.
Here.
Maria Bass.
Here.
Barry Castles.
Here.
Johnny Fallon.
Here.
Okay. Item A, Executive Committee Report. Ms. Johnny?
Okay, well, all the checks are checked out. The sales tax is up, way up, $86,539 this month. And so we're up to that $283,651 for the year. So
That's
we're
great.
doing really well.
Okay. Item B, review and vote on the approval of March 5th, 2026 board meeting minutes.
I'll take a nomination to accept the board meeting. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Item C, recognize Jada Freeman as the April Employee of the Month for Pelican Benefit Advisors. You gotta stand up front.
She does not want to stay. I can't get my phone to turn off. Jim's at a ball game and he's trying to, it's off, okay. He's trying to give me updates. And I'm like, stop.
So, I would like to recognize Jada for her loyalty to our school district, Grayson Elementary, and most importantly, her students. She began her educational journey with me years ago as a paraprofessional, then secretary, then teacher, then she tried to leave me, and then I drug her back in, and she is amazing. She's one of those that you just call a natural at teaching, learning, and nurturing students. She always makes a lasting impression on both her students and her parents, and her kids always make a lasting impression on her because every year at the end of the year awards, she squalls. And I know she's going to do it this year.
But she's not gonna cry tonight, right?
She will, I promise. I told her I just recently had to get a picture of it. She is a great support to her fellow teachers as well, who look to her for guidance. She's grown so much through her journey as to becoming a teacher. I am very proud of her as a friend, as a coworker, and I can always count on her to come to work because sometimes I have to go and get her. It's a little inside joke. One day she called and she was like, "Oh, my car won't crank." I was like, "I'm on my way." Left school, came and got her kids, took them to school. So, like I said, she's a great friend and a great coworker. A few other people wrote things about her. Jada embodies the spirit of a lifelong learner. She's never afraid to pilot something new or pivot in her approach if she needs to better outcomes for her students. She strikes that rare, perfect balance of emotional support, but also maintaining a high academic standard for all her students to succeed. She's a helper in every sense of the word, always the first to volunteer, the last to leave. She's always a teacher, not by trade, but by nature, again, that's stated. a fact proven by her brief 4-month attempt to leave. As it turns out, that hiatus was the best thing that ever happened to our school. It served as the ultimate proof that she is exactly where she is meant to be. And I truly look forward to watching Jada continue to shape the minds of our students for many years to come. Another person wrote that she is a tireless, hard-working teacher. She doesn't just meet the expectations, she consistently goes above and beyond. She focuses on student mastery. She creates a supportive and nurturing environment for her students. Her ability to build strong relationships with her students promotes their independence. And I'm telling you, she pushes her kids and she expects so much out of them, and they rise to the occasion. So when you go into a first grade classroom and you think they can't do that, watch, because she's going to prove you wrong. Her impressive traits are humility. She's always open and listens to coaching, feedback. She wants to improve. She wants you to come to her room and say, tell me how to do better for my students. She's an invaluable asset to our team. So on behalf of Pelican Benefit Advisors, congratulations,
Congratulations.
You violated Maria's cardinal rule. You stayed longer than 1 minute.
I'm sorry. She's worth every minute of it.
Maria's staring me down, so I
Okay,
I got mine
item
done. We
B,
got it.
memorial recognition of Valda Parker, Jerry Powell, and Gloria Guerrero. I have the resolutions here, but at our March board meeting, it was mentioned that we had lost these three former employees of our school system, and as a board, we wanted to recognize them and their lives and the legacies that they have left behind. I'm not going to read the entire resolution because they're very long, but I'm going to paraphrase. And first up is Miss Valda Parker. This one is kind of emotional for me. Honoring the life and legacy of Miss Valda Rushing Parker. Miss Parker faithfully served the Caldwell Parish school system for more than 40 years, beginning her career as a classroom teacher where she demonstrated a passion for learning and a steadfast belief in the potential of every student. Through her years of service, she continued to impact countless students and educators as she advanced into leadership roles within the school system, serving as a supervisor and later as principal of Union Central Elementary School. Her influence extended far beyond the classroom as she became a respected leader, mentor, and role model to students, teachers, and administrators alike. So, on behalf of Caldwell Parish School Board, we honor and recognize the extraordinary contributions of Ms. Valda Rushing Parker to the student, staff, and community of Caldwell Parish, and expresses its profound appreciation for her decades of faithful service. And I'd like to present this to Mr. Tommy.
This is kind of hard for me. It's early yet, but let me assure you that Valda Parker deemed it an honor to be part of this school system. Yeah, do I. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tommy.
second, and if no other families here, we just put it in the record.
Okay,
Okay.
Miss Gloria Guerrero's family's here, so we'll read hers as well. Can you come up? I know you want to. All right. Ms. Guerrero faithfully served the Caldwell Parish school system in cafeteria services, where she worked diligently each day to support and care for the students and staff of the school she served. Her dedication to the children of Caldwell Parish was evident in the way she chose her work assignments, often following the schools attended by her beloved grandchildren so that she could remain closely connected to their lives while continuing to serve the local school community. Her kindness, warmth, and dedication made a lasting impact on Caldwell Parish school system and the many people whose lives she touched. Caldwell Parish School Board honors and recognizes Ms. Guerrero for her faithful service and the care she shows to the students and staff of the Caldwell Parish school system.
I think it needs to come this way.
And was there
Good
no
to
one
see you.
here?
Yeah, see you.
No?
Do you want?
We just do it as unanimous.
Unanimous, okay.
Do I need a second on that?
Yeah, I'll say it. Miss Goins was a great teacher. I knew her as Miss Goins.
Yeah.
She had all my kids, and she was a great teacher. And then later on at the bank, she would come in, she knew what she wanted, and she worked her way to get what she wanted. But I loved Miss. She was later Miss Powell, but I loved Miss Goins. She took very good care of her students.
Okay. Item E, recognize the CPHS powerlifting team. Coach Willow, I believe, is gonna
Yes,
tell
ma'am.
us.
So I just want to start off by saying that the future for the boys and girls powerlifting team is very bright. I'll start off with the girls. So they didn't have many last year. We had a bunch coming this year and we improved by qualifying more for state and Hogan won, Tyler Thompson second. I'd also like to shout out these seniors, Miley and Reagan. This was their first year to do it. They both finished third, fifth, and sixth at state. And they were a big help in just being a older presence with the girls, but I have no doubt they will succeed in the future as we keep going. They're still a young team. The boys, I told them this the night before state meet, but I've been around powerlifting as a local coach for 9 years now. I've never seen a group of guys improve in such a short time, any team as they did. Going into state, we were projected fourth, and it's meant a lot to these guys, especially the seniors. Greg Duchamp, I'm really proud of that guy. Jaden Bennett, our first year guy too, who really helped us out. Katie Sweat, they really stepped up and were leaders of this team, and they really pushed each other after regionals. We became such a better team. And both of these teams are young. Of all the girls here, they were qualified for state, only 2 qualified last year. Of the 9 boys that we qualified for state, we only had 1 senior last year. Only 4 of those same were at state again. So this is a new team. They had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of internal and external problems early in the season that we had to go through. But they stuck it out, and I think it's made them better kids because of it. They really had to make some tough decisions, and they pushed through it. And I just have no doubt that they will be better because of it. I'm really going to miss these seniors. I might not have said that earlier in the year. But around regionals, it's nice to see a group of young men and women do something they truly care about, just putting effort into it. And effort, what I've been trying to get them to realize for a long time, can get you a long way. I just want to quickly tell y'all what they placed. So the 123s placed 6th at state. And I'm really proud of this guy because he was projected 10th going in. And he really wanted that. Luke, another first-year guy as far as qualifying for state, finished 9th. Jace finished 2nd. And the 148 league is a 132 by the way. Bryson Worley, 198. He also finished 2nd. Jaden Bennett, 242, placed 4th at state. Carson Worley, 242, placed 3rd at state. Drake, 275, placed 3rd at state. Terrence Morgan, 275, placed 2nd at state. And Sweat, at 275 plus, or super heavy, placed 4th. As far as the girls, Olivia, at 97, placed 8th. Addie Gregory, at 114, placed 5th. Gracie Peppers, 132, placed 7th. Ira, 165, placed 2nd. Sophie Gregory, 181, placed 10th. Reagan Ollie, 198, placed 6th and 5th. going really proud of the school, and I know the future's gonna be bright.
Kaylee, yeah, she's been directed that way. Yeah, yeah. Just follow Kaylee that way. We're proud of y'all.
Keep up the good work.
Jane, you can take the trophy home. You have to give it up.
Good job, boys. Way to work. Good job. It's awesome. Good numbers. I'm sure y'all missed. I'm telling you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
We follow y'all.
Appreciate it.
What?
Question robotics.
They were practicing.
We're doing, they're still, they're
Yeah.
supper and all that kind of stuff. So, you got the,
It's the
It's
13th.
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah.
Monday's coming, okay.
You have an invitation in your folder. They've asked us to come to their dinner on Monday.
Okay. Item F, consider resolutions ordering and calling an election on June 27th, 2026 to be held in the Consolidated School District Number 1 of Caldwell Parish, Louisiana, to authorize the renewals of 2 property taxes. 0.39 mills, 2027 to 2026, 417,600. Operation and maintenance, 50/50 to general and maintenance. 11.32 mills, 2027 to 2036, 877,100. Operations, 100% of that to general.
You're up.
Let's see, we're on tax renewals.
She just read it.
Okay, good. There are 2 tax renewals on the ballot, or proposed ballot. 5.39 mills, which goes to maintenance, that is half of the maintenance budget. And then 11.32 mills, which brings in about $877,000 in the general fund. That's about 6% of the revenue for the general fund. The maintenance fund overlooked the amount, it's $417,000. We've had this tax for at least 40 years. That's as far back as I can go. It might go back further. And it's a typical tax that all school boards have. Overall, all property taxes account for about $3 billion out of $15 billion just for general funds. So it's about 20% for property taxes that accounts for our revenue. And taxes for 10 years runs from January 1st, 2027 to December 31st, 2036. And it is being proposed for the June 27, 2026 election. Should y'all approve that? And I think that's it.
I just wanted to clarify what this millage pays for: utilities, electricity, water, heating, cooling, keeping our schools safe and comfortable for students and staff, maintenance, repairs, so fixing roofs, plumbing, HVAC systems, other necessary repairs to keep buildings functioning properly, any building upkeep that we have, so cleaning, groundskeeping, routine maintenance to ensure that the schools are safe and well maintained. Bus transportation, so fuel, maintenance, operational costs that allow buses to safely transport students to and from school, and then daily operating costs, so supplies, services, and other essential expenses required to keep the schools running. So that's what all this goes towards.
So I make a motion. Can I make a motion? I make a motion to, accept this, election to be held. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item G, discuss and vote on change of May 2026 board meeting date due to scholars banquets.
So, yeah, graduation is, graduation is May the 15th, and so our board meeting should be May the 14th. So, which is Scholars Banquet. That whole week is like the award week. So, wrote down that we could either have the board meeting the Thursday before, which is May the 7th, or we could have it the Tuesday afterwards, which is May the 19th.
Oh, that's a bad day for me.
Okay. So do we want to have it the week before on May the 7th?
Y'all good with May 7th? May 7th.
May 7th? Very good.
Yeah, okay. So I'll make a motion that we hold that meeting on May 7th for next month.
What is the graduation projection? We're up, down, what is the number that we're looking at now to graduate?
Students?
Yeah,
I was about 86.
is that up or down, about the same?
It's about average.
All in favor? Okay. Item H, consider and vote on opening money market account for payroll at Caldwell Bank and Trust.
All right, item H, we have a money market account associated with the lunch fund and the operating account for the general fund. We do not have one associated with the payroll account. And the payroll account, we transfer all the money in there for the direct deposits that go to the employees, as well as the OGB, health insurance premiums, as well as teachers' retirement, lasers, taxes, all goes into that account. The payroll gets paid out on the 25th, as well as the taxes. And then we have retirement that sits in there for probably about 15 days. And then the OGB premiums sit in there for about a month before we write a check for that. So what all this is doing is activating a money market account that holds the money until we write a check. And when we write the check, we move the money from the money market into the checking. It'll generate about $10,000–$15,000 per year. So we've had a little bit of, we kind of played the game a little bit in the operating account with having the money in the operating account before we transfer it over to payroll. It's just logistically kind of sticky, and this would also prevent having problems whenever we have a payroll that runs on a Monday and someone having to take time out of their day and go to the bank to transfer the money. So also confidence.
And you're going to have online viewing for different people?
I'll have online viewing and Carla and Nikki, which is how we have all the other accounts. Right.
Yeah.
So, and I think the president of the board also has it. I don't know whether he ever looks at it or not. So, I mean, it doesn't matter to me what he looks at it.
So this is a way for us to generate money
Yes, sir.
by not spending it and putting it somewhere we're strong.
Yep. Correct. It'll draw 3.7%.
David's very good at that. We do it with our other accounts.
Yeah, the operating account, we move money sometimes every day, and then sometimes we go a week without moving money. So it generates a decent amount.
And with online viewing, you have people looking at it so they can see what's going on with it.
So I reconcile every account that we have, not school activity accounts, every day. So I can kind of gauge where we are and move money back and forth. And Nikki is the one who does that. I don't do that. I don't have any signature.
And as far as legalities go, we don't have to worry about the other banks in town.
Caldwell Bank already has the payroll account, and just logistically, they need to be the same bank.
Maybe you talk to John about that.
Yeah, we do it with our other accounts. We have an account at Homeland that we do it, and an account at Citizens. Mhm.
And I'll make a motion to we authorize, the payroll being put into the, money market account.
A second?
All in favor?
Do we have to take a vote on it? That was the page.
I'll do a roll call. Mr. Barton,
Yes.
Ms. Ballard,
Yes.
Mr. Glass,
Yes.
Ms. Bass,
Yes.
Mr. Castles.
Yes.
Ms. Allen,
Yes.
Mr. Jones.
Okay. Item I, consider and vote on fiscal year 27 millages.
All right.
Stay with you.
Yep. My lucky day.
Popular today.
Yeah, my first day back. So, it's been a long day. It's basically what we've done every year. at this time, adopt millages, and this year we're adopting 5.3, or proposing 5.3 millage on regular, it gets kind of wordy. This is statutory, that's the main one that goes on forever. Maintenance, 7.41%. 8.74% for operations and maintenance, 5.29% on operations, maintenance, and construction. Not that we're constructing anything, but we'll allow for that. Operations, 11.11, and bond prepayment, 15.7. And let's see, I'm trying to see anything else on this. And this is for calendar year 26, our fiscal year 27. So this is what will be collected in the future. I will be getting with Scott to make sure we don't have any kind of a hiccup like we did this past year, where we had property taxes that went down. That was completely off the radar for me. The last time we had a decrease on property taxes was, I think, 8 or 9 years. Well, it was before I was here. I think it was closer to 9 or 10 years ago. So it does happen, but a little bit of warning would have been nice, because I mean, it's never gone down in my career.
But it didn't just affect us, it affected the sheriff's office and the police street too, just different amounts because we had different property.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, it'd been nice to have had a little disclosure at the bottom of it saying that do it
By the
on
way,
this amount
and
instead of this big amount.
I talked to Scott today on something else, well, it's what I already sent to y'all, about the tax court case, which went our way, as suspected. And I mentioned, I said, we need to get together and talk about how this number's gonna look for the upcoming year. I said, because that's.
We can't have those surprises.
No, I mean, that kind of a surprise was way off, not even remotely what I thought.
Because if it's gonna be a low amount, we need that low amount.
Right, yep.
And then if it's up here, then we can go, hallelujah, we got some more money, but if it's.
And every year, I've always budgeted what we got in the prior year. And then we've usually, got at least 20,000, sometimes 50 or 100,000 more. So, I mean, that's always been kind of my little cushion that I never talked about out loud. And because I would always have a little bit of a cushion to cover anything that came up that was unexpected on some other account. So, my cushion went away, which was drastic. So, anyway.
So we need to do a roll call on each of these, or just
All of them will come,
all of them at one time? Okay.
unless somebody objects, I mean.
Are these changes?
They change every year. These are the maximum rates that's available on each of these, except for the bond. The bond is unique because we can only collect what is going to pay for the debt service, principal and interest.
So let me ask a question. Did the
Yes, sir.
regular statutory go up as far as the change in the,
If it went up, we're talking minor.
what about maintenance?
I'd have to look back on any of it. So, we've always collected the maximum range. I mean, unless y'all want to collect.
When you say the maximum amount, where do you get that number?
The maximum amount that's been, like we just voted on a tax renewal,
Yes.
for 10 years, it comes from that number. It does change a little bit every year based off property tax values. Because you're supposed to kind of collect about the same amount with growth. So, I mean, if you got a bunch of new property tax payers, you'll have growth. That's how you have growth. If you don't have, and I'm just going to use ballpark number. If your property tax was $1,000 last year, theoretically, it will adjust. It's going to be $1,000.
Did any of these go up so much that where people are gonna go,
No,
that's not me.
no, not at all.
Have a motion?
I make a motion that we, vote on the millage. I'll second.
All in favor?
I'll do roll call. Mr. Rentz is absent. Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Glass?
Yes.
Ms. Bass?
Yes.
Mr. Cassis?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes.
Okay. Item J, consider approval of a resolution to withdraw EEF tobacco settlement funds invested in
That's me. So every year, we're afforded the opportunity to pull out some funds from a special fund, a tobacco settlement that state treasury houses. We have to apply for it through the Department of Education. In the past, they haven't asked for this from us, but they have for other districts. Last year, we didn't even apply for it because what I started doing is what Merrick was doing when I took over, which is leave the money in there as much as possible, pull out small amounts to take care of things that we need to have happen. Network equipment or computers or Chromebooks for students. Last year, we decided we weren't going to take any out because we had enough projects on the table, we were going to leave the funds in there. And then the governor decided to pass a bill trying to remove that money. And we wouldn't have access to it anymore. So this year, we came up with a lot of projects to withdraw what is left and go ahead and put it in our hands to take care of those projects. Now they've asked for a resolution that says the board agrees that we remove that money. We've already applied for it through LDOE. We've been approved for it through the grant system. Now they're asking the board to write a resolution saying that we will pull that out and spend it on the things that we said we would spend it on in the grant management system.
What's the dollar amount?
$265,676.
And I'm assuming we've already dictated what we're gonna spend the money on?
Yes, and that's part of what the Treasury Department said we had to do, was pass a resolution saying we would spend it on exactly what we were approved for in the grant management system.
What is that?
That is, well, something we've already done, which is running fiber to the field house and the welding shop. The other parts were network equipment at the junior high that needs to be replaced. We put it for Chromebooks that are going to fail in the next 3 years. We're looking at 1,200 Chromebooks that are going to go out of service in the next 3 years. So we're trying to stagger that where they don't all go out at the same time.
Well, the reason why I'm asking, because Linda, Mr. John and I, we visited several schools. And I thought at one point we had discussed about getting cameras, you know, inside of the facilities to make sure that there's adequate amount of security to prevent, you know, any mishaps and things like that. So I don't know how much it would cost. I don't know if we had to do it school by school. I don't know if we...
We have cameras in the buildings, in the hallways. Not in the classrooms, but we have them in the hallways.
Well, I'm speaking wherever they need to be at.
Yeah.
Simply because there's been issues that have taken place when nobody knows what the facts are, and we're assuming that this happened or that didn't happen. You have those cameras in there that takes care of that. And I think some of the people that work at these places have indicated to us that they don't really feel comfortable saying that, so I'm saying it for them. I think when I'm gone, at some point you guys need to look at maybe putting security or extra security, because the courthouse is doing it, the police jury is doing it. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how irate a person's going to be. So I think when you prepare yourself for those things and go down and kind of look forward to it, that may be something down the road that, you know, could happen. Or I'm going to say it should happen. I'm not going to say it can happen today, but
right.
At some point.
And part of this budget, when I took over, there was already funds in there.
Right.
The way that budget works is you apply for X amount of dollars saying you're going to spend this much. If it costs less, you have some left over.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's an approved type of material, we can go back to EGMS and ask them, hey, can we spend the money we already have on those devices? And if they approve it, we'll do it.
Is that something that somebody else within the system has approved, or has it come before the board? Does the board play any role in it? How does it work?
Now the Department of Treasury is saying that you have to approve that that's what we're going to spend it on. We haven't had that.
Because I'm approving something now, but I don't know what I'm approving.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
And I'm going to approve it. I'm just saying for future, because you guys are going to be, I'm not. So what I'm saying is, it's always good to correct the problem before we move forward. So there's no indictment on you. I'm just saying,
right.
For clarity, I think you guys need to be aware of what it is you're voting on before you vote on it, because at some point you're going to be questioning, why did you vote on this? So you need to know what it is that you're voting on. And I'm going to vote for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to approve it because I think it's necessary, and I trust your judgment.
Yeah.
But I think in the future, it probably needs to be a little bit more transparent.
If we get to the point where we have those extra funds for the security, absolutely.
Yeah, because I think it's, does every bus have cameras?
That's completely different. That's on transportation.
Okay.
I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to throw him under the bus for that,
Mike, you stopped me in my tracks. Because I'm just asking for,
Yeah,
for security purposes.
absolutely.
I'm always thinking, outside,
Right.
based on what always happened.
Mhm.
I know Elena, we've talked about,
The
some,
field house.
Yeah,
Out by
things
the
like
field
that.
house.
but, right, and that is one of our weak parts with security. But that's why we ran fiber out there now, so now we can start putting
Right.
some more security out
And
I
if
know
we
it's
can get
costly.
cameras in the classroom, I think that would be a good idea.
It would be wonderful.
So
It would be
grant
wonderful.
writers, wherever you
But
are.
then on that, there's a whole lot of stipulations that the
Right.
state says with that. We have some
And
in our
that's what
special
people
ed.
don't
classroom.
understand. You get this money, but they tell you you can only do this, 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 and this with it.
Exactly. It'd be nice to fill up, the holes in the budget if we could, but it's already geared toward, it has to be spent on
well, I'm
technology.
gonna vote for it, Mike.
Like, when we take this out, is that all the money, there's no money to go to next year?
There's no more money to go to next year, and we're doing that for what I
We
said
want to grab it
before.
while we can.
It's a use it or lose it
Yeah.
situation.
Yes, that's what we're afraid of. I would love to leave it where it was and let it draw more interest and pull like we've been doing for those small things,
How
but
soon will you get it?
we're afraid. Well, we've already been told we can start allotting the money, and we've already run the fiber, so I'm assuming after I do this and turn it into the Treasury Department, we'll get the money.
They've never required this in the past.
No, they haven't from us. I've never gotten this before, and Merrick hasn't either.
So in this resolution, do you have what you're gonna spend it on?
Not in the resolution itself. There is an amendment to the investment agreement that Ms. McCann has to sign that states this is how much. And then it states in the resolution that it has to be spent on what we have asked for in the EEF grant management system. I have that if anybody wants to look at it. But the resolution itself does not state that. It just says that we're gonna spend it on what we applied for in the grant management.
And EGMS is the grant system that they'll tell us what the allowables are. We put it in there and we say, this is what we're gonna do, and then they check it and say, yes, it matches the allowables, and they either approve or reject. Sometimes they will approve, sometimes they will approve with comments, and you have to fix their comments before they will approve. I mean, this is the world we all live in, where it's constantly back and forth before we can get it just right. And they'll say, okay, now you can have the money.
It's like a house inspection.
You have to play by their rules.
Yeah, play by their rules.
Ms. Johnson, if you're gonna do a resolution, we can do it contingent upon an addendum being attached to the original resolution.
You wanna make a copy? We can get, okay, a copy.
Yeah, well, you don't want the copy I have. EGMS does not like you to print off. So we'll get,
No, you don't want a copy of the amendment itself. Mike, you have a copy of
I do, but it's so tiny because EGMS is not good at printing off.
It's terrible, it is.
It is horrible to
It's
print
terrible.
off.
You can put your readers on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, for the red light, the green light.
On this page, so you'll run 7 copies of that.
I just got inside
You can skip J and go to the next one and then come back and vote on this. That can get it.
You want to-
Wait, can you read that before we vote?
Well, I mean, even reading it, you're not gonna know what you're reading. I mean, if you're gonna approve it, let's just go and approve it. You can always continue to come back. I trust Mike's judgment. I just would feel more comfortable knowing what it is because, people question this, that, doesn't. So,
Right.
again, I don't have the issue with.
This is what we asked for this year.
Right.
And if there's any funds left over, we have to go back and ask for it again next year, so that will be completely different
Right.
every year. So,
Spend it so they don't take it.
That's the goal.
but we're trying to spend it wisely.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend it on something that's going to go out in 2 years.
And Mike, it can
While we
only be
run
spent
fiber.
for those things.
Technology for the students themselves. It has to directly impact the students in the classroom.
Oh, so it's, like security, no?
I can word it.
So,
Well, I'm just worried about security.
Yes,
But, I mean,
yes.
like
And-
Angela's been working on that Safe Schools grant. I mean,
Right.
we did the keyless, at the high school in Columbia, we'd like to do that, but then another round may be able to update some more cameras.
Right.
I mean, so there are grants out there, and that's part of what we'll go over at the retreat, is all of every grant that everybody has gone over and the dollar amounts and what we have gone through with that. I mean, just about everybody in this room writes grants. I mean, there's a lot of grants out there, and we're constantly looking for more ways to do that. So there may be other options for
so
that.
Mike, it needs to be approved tonight, right?
I think it should be approved tonight because we don't know what's gonna come up with the next election.
It needs to be approved tonight.
Yes. And they just sent this.
They
last
sent it
week.
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
I just got this 2 days ago.
I mean, Mike was questioning whether it was legitimate. I mean,
Yeah, there were some things they were asking for.
So they just sent it to you 2 days ago for the approval?
Did you make
That
sense?
I have to send them a copy of the resolution, a copy of the board minutes, a copy of my EGMS printout, a whole bunch of information that they want. So I'm trying to get this done as quickly as quick.
After they already told you you could allot the funds.
LDOE said we could have the funds. Now the state treasurer is asking. Can we have the funds? Yes.
I need
Two
someone to
different-
interpret this shit. I can't see it with these glasses.
That's what I was afraid of.
I'm doing
Yeah,
this.
I ain't consistently trying to look at it. So, Melinda, I'll rely on what you say.
I can't read it, but I'm reading mine.
This how they sent this?
That is how EGMS tried to print it off. I don't know all of the, I have one thing in EGMS, and this is the EAF.
This would be unacceptable. I mean, you can't read it.
Exactly.
And this page actually has multiple grants in it.
Oh,
I'm just looking at this. This has multiple grants in it.
So which
Right.
one is
I was
ours?
just trying, it has the information of what we asked
Yeah.
for the license stuff at, where's my copy at? I can read it because I know what it says.
Because it's got the other stuff from y'all's travel and your conference.
Okay, well,
So-
that's, part of what we put in here was technology training.
Yeah, but that total amount is this, and that's not the
That's
total
not the
amount.
total amount.
Yeah,
No,
that's why it's got-
256. This number is
Other,
other.
yeah.
Yes, it's in there.
And that's the way you
Chromebook
do it.
fleet, training for me and Brian, fiber to the 2 places, network equipment, to the high school, and network equipment to junior high, fiber to the field house and welding shop. And then travel technology stuff for me and Brian.
So Mike, I guess for me, I gotta get a little bit out of something for I vote on it. What principles, everybody involved in, like, the needs assessment, it just kinda came from you guys?
It,
To
it's
determine-
usually a balance of everything. We knew that the field house had to have it.
Right,
We
based on
knew-
what you already knew prior?
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And we know that the network equipment at the junior high is about to go out. It's already out of license, but we're still use it. So we're wanting to put it on the same stuff that we have for everyone else.
Anything taking place at the high school?
Sorry?
Anything taking place at the high school out of this?
As a, in reference to what?
Anything? Any content that you got added?
The high school.
To
Just
this is the field house and the,
And the welding
And
The
the
shop.
latest,
welding shop.
anything else that you need there?
I don't know what's.
Chromebooks are gonna be part of that fleet.
And they would go to different schools, I would assume.
They would be scattered across. We've got 1,200 that's gonna
They
go out
pretty
in
much
29.
outdated every year, or every 2 years maybe?
Every roughly 4 years is when they last.
So we're probably on a cycle to phase out, right?
We got these Chromebooks that are about to go out when I first got to the
Right.
IT department 6 years ago.
That's been, what, 3 or 4 years?
Yes.
And that was for COVID money.
That was from COVID money.
Right.
And we got 1,200 over the summer. So they're all gonna go out at one time.
Okay. So in other principle, I mean, Chromebooks, Delana?
Chromebooks is our main.
I mean, because
thing.
again, you guys are the
Yeah.
ones that's there, so I'm not circumventing what Mike has done, I just wanna make sure, because I'm gonna be voting on this, so I wanna at least know
Our
that.
internet's fine. I mean, we have, the updated internet and everything. The
Okay.
biggest, tech part is Chromebooks. We have cameras
in all of our halls and self-contained classrooms, so I mean.
So Mike, just so we can eyeball it at some point, just provide us a list of it.
Absolutely.
If you wanna make a motion, then I'm okay with it. And then I know if you guys.
Well, I make the resolution that we, vote and, accept this, resolution.
259, right?
265.
So that we're gonna withdraw. the
265, 676. It should be the remaining
Got
balance.
it up pretty, Kevin.
Somebody needs to second my motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
I'll do roll call. Mr. Rentz? Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Glass?
Yes.
Ms. Bass?
Yes.
Mr. Castles?
Yes.
Ms. Fowler?
Yes.
Item K, financial update.
All right, yay. One little ray of sunshine, first page. The AFR, Annual Financial Report, finally has a rating for fiscal year 25 as excellent. That just means we were able to slide everything in the right boxes and send it in by their due date, which was September 30th. So it took until April 9th to give me that approval.
Kudos to the business department for making that happen.
So, we were, I think, 5th in the state to submit our audit, so that's what I'm more proud of than the state rating that finally came. A lot of good work by everybody in the department. So, Carl was one piece of me the most straight though. And then if you flip to the next page, that's a general fund, and I didn't go through the normal Excel spreadsheet that I normally put together, which is based off of these numbers, or this type of a report. I got a lot of scribbling on there. The key things to take away, and I'm going to have a whole lot more detail for the retreat. I didn't spend much time on that because today was my first day back. Again, we talked about property taxes. That's going to take a $162,000 hit from where the original budget was. The MFP is gigantic. It's a $292,000 hit. High-cost services is the bright star. I budgeted 100, came in at 183.
Yeah, you should Rebecca's team.
So, however, we didn't get everything that we requested. I think the request was 400,000 ballpark.
Was this what we was waiting on last month?
Right. And the state only funded a minor amount, well, I mean, 25%. Well, about half, I'm sorry. It's about 100,000.
Will they come back later?
So high cost services is different than a lot of the other things. I can give this a month.
Okay, all right, you'll wrap up.
Y'all gotta realize that Maria's on a time clock.
Okay, I forgot.
Sounds like Baron's on the time clock.
All right, I'll quit.
It's
So,
neat to know.
anyway,
Oh, okay, Ms. Jones.
those 3 items have moved our deficit of 300,000 to 675. And that's before I've looked at any of the other accounts. So, again, I'm gonna play with that this upcoming week. Sales tax, I know, Johnny said that sales taxes were up 283. That is true. And we're also down on the expenditures by $53,000. And part of that was based off the board approving where, if you leave in the middle of the year, you don't get part of that sales tax. You gotta stay for the whole year.
So Dave, we actually saved on that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it was a good thing.
Yes, sir. So, we know how much it would do, but we're $53,000 less in expenditures. So, good job to the board on that. Lunch fund is, muddling along about like where it was last year. I didn't mean that, Nate.
Yeah, well.
And maintenance fund, it took a hit early on in the year with some roof repairs that were pretty substantial, so it's not doing as well as it was last year, but it's hanging in. And that concludes it for tonight. Unless somebody has questions. And again, I sent you all that text about the tax court ruling in our favor. That judge sits also on the Louisiana Supreme Court, so if it gets appealed, the same guy's gonna hear it. Unless he reverses his own opinion, we're very good. They got 30 days to appeal.
What year was that for?
Multiple years, 19 through twenty-three or twenty-four.
Oh, yeah.
So it would be a pretty substantial amount to come forward. Again, we've already counted that in revenue as required by county standards. So it doesn't change the budget. It just means we have possession of the money instead of it sitting at the sheriff's office and the paid in protest account.
So, you said it was from 19 to 23? Okay, what about 23, 24, 25? Are they gonna contest that too?
That'll be a separate court case. I might be wrong on the years, but there is
Yeah,
a
I think it's
second.
right before COVID, or right during 19, I think it's 23 to 24, but I think it's 23 because I think it's 5 years.
I'd have to look back. I know they paid, the sheriff paid us 1 year, the first year in error.
Right.
They should not have cut us a check for that, but they did. But so that would also, I mean, if the world came to an end and the court ruled against us, we'd owe that money back also.
See, this is your 5th year, right?
Mine, 6.
Okay, it was maybe your first year. 19, I think is what it.
No, she came in
Okay, right, so I think it was a year before you came.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1 month before COVID.
Right.
Okay. All right, thank you, David.
Yes, ma'am.
Item L, district leaders update.
Rebecca, you first.
Does anybody want to copy?
I will if we need to.
So we'll talk more about high costs if you guys want, at the retreat, but the only thing I do want to
Rebecca,
say.
I'm joking, you can take us on. Miss Johnny the one got to go. So I guess I need to go. Katie gone?
I'm taking over Maria.
Right now, the state budget for IDEA is in public comment, and high cost services, the amount is not increasing in the budget from year to year, which is why we're getting less and less. So if anybody feels so inclined to send an email to la.gov encouraging them to increase the amount in high cost services, yeah, I would appreciate that.
You can draft us
I was about
some
to say,
sample
yeah.
emails and we
Send
will
us
all.
an email and I'll be sure
It's
to-
one of those things sort of like MSP where the amount of the allotment has not increased over the years, and now that more districts are writing, everything that we asked for was approved, but every district in the state got 42% of what was approved. And when I tell you guys that grant is a mover, it took everybody on this hallway days and days and days, because since it's a reimbursement, you have to have the receipts from the year before. So if Monica's my student, then in the year before, we bought sensory items, an iPad, a high chair. We have to have every bit of those pieces of paper tracked, attached to her, and asked for it back that specifically. So it's a lot harder to write than some of the other EGMS stuff. But I mean, Ms. Pan and Janice and I actually got on a call with the person at the state who's over it, and they were like, no, you wrote it perfectly. You got as much as anybody did percentage-wise. It's just that we need more money put into that program, because Janice looked back at the past couple of years, and what the state's allotting towards that is not changing while the needs of districts are increasing. So
More and
more kids that are requiring high-cost services. So I'll be happy to draft something and email you guys.
So Rebecca, you have to provide services for any other school that's around in the parish, right? Therapy.
Not all services.
But certain services that must continue to go regardless, they have to go,
Because it's federal or because it's state? Because it's federal. So since it's federal, we have to provide services for any other school in the parish.
Or kids that are not in school.
But we don't get
homeschool.
reimbursed from them for anything.
Like homeschool?
Depending on the
right,
program.
if they're child specific or if they fall under special, I'll let you tell you.
Well, yeah, it's really, it all falls under child fund. If we know there's a kid in the community, we're required by law to conduct a full evaluation, put all the manpower into that, and services. And it's one of those things, you know, in the grants, there are all these assurances, and one of the things that we have to do is promise that we're gonna provide these. And we actually have to say how many students are at other schools and what we're gonna do for them, so.
So they don't help with retirement or insurance or anything?
We don't get reimbursed for anything.
No.
So everything comes out of the public school fund? Okay.
But we are getting money to pay for the people that we are helping, correct? Yes or no?
It doesn't actually balance out on the time versus the.
So if we refuse to help them, how much money would we get?
Oh, yeah, if we refuse them, we lose all of it.
So we are getting money to help these people, whether they're at our school or not.
Well, I mean, they've got us kind of, I don't
Well, I
want
mean,
to say.
Rebecca, just answer the
Yeah,
question. No,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not
they've got us
true.
backed into a corner. They're holding all the rest of our money hostage if we don't do it.
They're giving
So,
you
yeah.
money until you gotta spend it on somebody else, is what they're
Right.
telling you.
Tell us something good.
That is good.
We had our field day, and I'm playing to her because our little APE teacher is a little rock star, and she did a great job organizing it. And I think a lot of the teachers were tired and exhausted, but the kids had a great time. So.
We had our last meeting of the school year with our growing reading range and the Center for Literacy and Learning. There's one more in May. Some really good things. She went in and did her coaching with the teachers at Kelly, meetings in the pre-K today. She's very complimentary of what she's seeing and some gains the teachers are making. So they love her coming in. So it's been a really good relationship built with her. And so with the CLSD money we're needing for next year, we hope we can continue to use her to do that and continue to build the literacy facilities.
Which is another grant. That's
Another
learning,
grant.
yes. President.
Singer?
I don't have much. We're muddling along.
Good.
Oh, David is not gonna.
Yeah. Trying to keep our head above water.
Mike, anything else?
Grant writing, we did get the security door systems put in finally, and it's all finished. A very good program. And we're getting ready for testing, making sure all the Chromebooks are ready.
When we walked around, everyone had all the doors locked, all the schools.
Have you been to the high school and the
Keys,
junior,
haven't been to
Kelly,
the-
Columbia?
Not
those-
since they did the new ones, but I'm telling you, you just don't walk in on those kids.
No.
You don't.
And these locks really help.
They had keys upon keys, they could knock somebody in the head with all them.
I have for Maria and Katie, since Katie had to leave, the coasters that are in front of you are yours to keep. She wanted me to let you know that they're from the 3D modeling
I thought they
program.
was a miniature free.
And Miss Guerrero, I'm just the messenger. I get 3 minutes per person.
You gotta listen to you for 9 minutes.
No, I promise.
Listen to you.
For Miss Guerrero and myself, we started testing first day back from break at the junior high, 6th grade and 7th grade and 8th grade. And then we moved on down to Columbia and we started numeracy today, and we'll be doing literacy tomorrow, and then we'll be with her next week and then move on down to Tiny Town, as I say. And so we'll be testing from here till May.
So, Ms. Gregory, your school is the one that's got the
Fourth
two,
and fifth.
right?
Yes.
Is there anything that's needed? I mean,
For testing?
yeah, morale, building, I mean, what, because I'm worried about it. Because you got 2 grades that's
We
taking
just
the
ordered
test.
those. Well, I mean, anything's always welcome to, boost morale with the teachers, but we actually met today to go over, I gave them the schedules right now. They were familiar with like who they're gonna be testing. They were able to go over any accommodations they had questions about. They actually, I had them go over because Brittany and I had checked and double checked, and then we actually caught one. They were like, hey, I think he has this, and, helped us catch, you know, so we didn't have an error on our testing, but I don't know. Anything that you guys could use for morale? She's one of my teachers.
Well, for the students, we did the LEAP inspiration folders. We had talked about doing a LEAP parade with parents coming, or I don't know if you're just talking about student morale. That would
No,
help.
because I think
student
it's
and
important
teacher
parents be
morale.
involved. I think that's one of the keys.
I think y'all enjoy it too.
Yeah, I always organize the LEAP folders, which is just a manila folder with 4 sheets of paper, and I encourage parents to put stickers and glitter and dazzle it up so that each day a student gets a note from their parent before they go in that stressful event. And I always do it for all the 4th and 5th graders. I started at Grayson when I was at Grayson, and then when I moved to Union Central when 4th grade moved there, I've always done it there as well. We've never done the parent parade at Union Central. I did do it, we did a student parade when I was at Grayson where the other students cheered on the 4th and 5th graders. We talked about 5th grade cheering on 4th grade and 4th grade cheering on 5th grade since we're on separate weeks. But sometimes we have students that don't come and they have makeup, so it doesn't really work. But if we could get the parents maybe to come on movie day, some teachers were discussing that, but we haven't established it.
Well, that's actually what we were talking about was the movie day. We're gonna do our movie day is usually the last Friday of the month.
I think we were there on movie day.
Yes, we were. I said you guys came on me first. Day.
But you handled it great.
This is the most chaotic.
It was great. It was great.
So anyway, we had talked about putting like paper on the walls and letting the parents come in during movie day and that evening and writing little notes and things.
That's why Melinda, when she left, she had a lot of complaints. You know, you were doing
No,
a
I
great job.
loved Kelly when we went down there and they were doing a little scavenger hunt.
Oh, okay.
And they were going down the hallway, stepping on little things, you know, and then we had the wall, we had all these little things that they had to find with a little piece of paper. And one would find it, so everybody would run go look at it. I mean, it was just cute as things, but I'm sure 4th and 5th graders would look for more than flowers.
One year for PBIS years ago, I mean, we did it school-wide, but we had a scavenger hunt. Like, they had to, like, go all around school, you know, find things. It was fun. So, yeah, even the older ones, they like it. But, I mean, that's where we are with testing. I mean, we're making sure everybody's ready.
Same, had the testing meeting with the teachers yesterday, went over everything, let them be familiar with their students, accommodations, ask questions. Ms. Baker and the special education teacher and I all sat down 3 times and went through the list to make sure, you know, that we didn't miss anything, and, you know, just let the teachers have input on their testing group and making sure that, you know, they were comfortable, with, you know, any accommodations that needed to be, given during the test. And then we've got PTOs working on putting together snacks for the students and the teachers, and some of the PTO leaders, parents have met to come up with some things that they want to offer for the teachers, for, you know, to keep the teachers going, but then they also always purchase the snacks for the students to keep them going too. So, and then we brainstormed yesterday in our TCPs over what we could do in the afternoons after testing was over to, you know, keep the children motivated for those 4 days, because that's a very long 4 days for a 3rd grader who's never taken a high stakes test, and there's a lot of pressure put on them, and they feel it, you know. And so we brainstormed yesterday in each of our teacher meetings, you know, what we could do in the afternoons to kind of keep the momentum going and keep that motivation alive for the students. And the teachers have come up with some really cute ideas, so you know, we're going to work on that in the afternoon. So I think we're going well.
Last thing, our art show is from 9 to 3. It's the district art show at the Shepis Museum, which is K through 12. Art, it always looks fantastic, and it is something to see. So that'll be Saturday, but it'll be up the whole month of April. So please come by, and some very talented children in our parish. And,
I got a sneak peek the other day. It's neat.
They've been working hard, our art teachers. They won't say, but they've been down there working really hard.
Maybe if you tell them at the end of the school that they can dump the superintendent in a bucket or something.
There is going to be a dumping.
There is. Now that you've said that, Mr. Floyd's gonna be.
I nominate Barry Glass.
I would drown. But no, seriously, I mean,
Yeah.
it's always good to joke about something serious. The point is that we here know that it's something that you guys have put 6 or 7 months into, and it can make or break everything that you've done. So I always like to give everybody an opportunity to be transparent, to say whatever it is they want to say, because I find that when you guys feel comfortable talking, it's always better. When you feel a part of the process, it's always better. So I think as we move on, the opportunities will be there. So if there's something that somebody want to share, I think the opportunity is there. Because you're definitely going to have the opportunity during the retreat, because I think, well, I'll deal with that when we get to the comments.
And I will say at Grayson, I know we don't do take the lead
Yeah.
test, but we always do our rock star pep rally right before we start our divulge and
Superintendent Duncan
numeracy.
is what you need to have.
Yeah, so that's on the 16th, and so I know
Superintendent Duncan.
Melinda came last year.
I'm telling you, those kids go crazy.
Yeah.
But you know, I've got some little sparkler things in the house we use for the game, the hockey games. I'll try to bring them by.
Absolutely.
But I don't know if
The
they
junior
make a
high,
fight.
just so y'all know, the junior high is doing the testing kickoff next Friday. That morning, we're gonna be at the stadium, and we're gonna have games for the kids,
What
Miss
time, Courtney?
McCann. It's gonna be about 9:30 is when we're gonna be over there.
Next Friday?
Yes, the 17th, 9:30 to 11:30. And Miss McCann's gonna come right in the middle and kind of give a pep talk, and, all the games they're gonna play are gonna like go back to like, you know, working hard and working together and all the things. And we have, somebody donated one of the 360 photo booths for us to use, and like, they're just gonna have a good time. So we have that. Yeah, we have that, and so we have, that going on, and then that afternoon we have a student versus teacher volleyball game, if y'all wanna come see that, either one of them, so that'll be fun. And then we start testing the following Tuesday, and we'll be testing for 3 weeks, so, yeah. We have, each grade has a different week, and it's just, yeah, it'll be stressful for us, but hopefully we can make it fun and relaxing for the kids.
So would you guys like to see the superintendent get splashed?
I mean.
The reason why I'm asking because it can happen with nobody being there. If that's something that y'all want to see, I can make the arrangement to make it happen. Just be prepared, I'm serious.
Do you own a dunking booth?
No, you know they have drones now. My point is, we don't have to be there, so when you're talking, just make sure that you're looking around.
Target on my back.
It may happen. So
Or your
that's
head
something y'all
apparently is
got to
gonna be
follow.
gone.
Christy, take over, please.
Okay. Last month we talked about the internships for this summer, that we needed some businesses. So what we decided to do, you do have it in your folder. We're gonna have a lunch and learn for parents, businesses and community organizations to explain to them what an internship is, what it means, what the kids would be doing, hours, classwork they have to do, all of the things that are gonna go with internships. So we're inviting all the businesses, community organizations, and any parents who want to know about it. This summer, it would be for the month of June and July for the interns, and it would be students that are gonna be juniors and seniors next year. They have to be 16 to do it. And then this ran in the paper, but the QR code didn't work. So what you have is the updated QR code that doesn't work. So if you have any businesses or you know of anybody that wants an intern, or you can talk to anybody and talk them into taking an intern, this is the QR code for the business to register. And then I posted also today on the school's Facebook page that and the student application, the QR code for the student application.
This is such a good opportunity to bridge between our students and the workforce and try out jobs to see, you know, is this what I want to do or is this not what I want to do, and try out different, you know, workplaces in our community and make some money. So, and there's a course that they can take too.
The kids get paid for working. They have to get paid at least minimum wage, but they get paid for working. But then we also give them a stipend of $500 for finishing the classwork, because they get a credit also, a full credit for the summer.
That's good.
Yeah, and it's really important for the high school because that has become a piece of our accountability for our school performance board. We've been doing accountability part.
So if
So
you
we've
know of
gotta
any
build that.
businesses, encourage them
Somebody
to
to
come and learn about this. We're feeding them lunch from the Kaleidoscope Cafe.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you. Jamie, I think Jamie.
Is James out here too?
Yeah, you saved the best for last.
I did.
Not that I've got a countdown clock going, but we got 25 days of school left and a lot going on. Athletics are winding down as far as my transportation department goes. You know, y'all got leak testing and all that going on too. You know, I got five routes that I've got sub-drivers on. They may be retired drivers that will come back to help me out. And also the principals that have CDL drivers on staff, their faculty, that they're letting me borrow in the morning and the afternoon. You are greatly appreciated, without a doubt on that. Repair work, you know, after the recent rains we've had, Union Central, Miss Gregory right there, we had some roof issues. We had to get those repaired. We're still working on the ledge work on the back side of the building along the this week. So a lot going on in my department with transportation as far as trying to keep the buses rolling every day, and then also doing the repair work for the schools so that we can keep them up and running. That's it for me. Oh yeah, if anybody wants to drive a bus, come see me.
Item M, Superintendent.
All right, so you have your information about the retreat in your folder. It is on April the 18th at the First Methodist Church. We're gonna start at 8 o'clock. We're working hard to prepare all this information. I think what we're gonna do is we have professional development set for you for the beginning of it. We talk about all of the grants that we have and how all those work, because each grant has a different set of rules and how that money rolls over and what you can spend that money with. So we're going to spend some time doing professional development on all the grants and how that works. And then we're going to break into groups so that we can kind of work together to look at the different parts of the grants and the different parts of the budget so that we can put our heads together and try to figure out how to tackle this budget deficit. We'll start that morning with that and then move into allowable use of the funds, require timelines, compliance. So looking at that, looking for some potential areas for cost reductions. I know there's a big about the sales tax. I'm just here to say that's not something I'm advocating for. I know it's not something that that's not what the intent was for there. I know that is absolutely something that's rolling around. I know there's a Facebook group out there and that's gotten, it is. That is not what we're trying to do. We're trying to look at the funds that we have here, what we're doing. I'm assuring you all, everybody in this office and outside of this office works tirelessly to try to figure out how to plug holes with fewer students, with less money coming in from the state, rising costs, increased grants. When I put that chart together that I'm gonna give y'all, and I plan to send all this out to you ahead of time too, because I want you to look at the numbers so that you're not showing up and seeing everything for the first time. We're meeting at 8 o'clock in the morning to sit down and look at the pieces that we're all gonna put together. I've asked my directors and supervisors to come in on Saturday, as well, to work with this so that we can all put our heads together. Last year, we worked together and we carved out $700,000 of our budget. We're starting tomorrow with Ms. Scalette, meeting just in-house to look at staffing, look at numbers and looking at that. So, we work tirelessly. This team is amazing at doing that, and nothing to hide, nothing to try to work around, but it's hard. It's definitely hard, and it's even harder when people don't trust you and people think that you're doing things that are not above board. But we're working on it. So that's a retreat on Saturday there.
I do have a comment about the retreat. In accordance with open meetings policy, public comment is only permitted when action is taken by the governing body. Since no action will be taken during this retreat, there will be no public comment period. We appreciate everyone's understanding and participation as we work collaboratively through this process. And we do encourage you to come and hear what we all have to say and what they have been working so hard on. We would, we encourage to come, but there will be no comment period.
All right, other news, Kim got me on the art show.
Sorry.
Got that? That's good. That's good. That's good. Also, it's the big spring market Saturday. So our speech squad is going to be there with a dunking booth. I'm not on the list. They have other favorite teachers if they want to dunk. Are you in there? No, I thought you meant like, okay.
Wrong Foy.
But they have lots of, Ron Foy, Mr. Foy. Other favorite teachers, they are raising money to go to nationals in DC. And so we're proud of them. And lots of our student groups at the spring market doing fundraisers. And so, pardon? Oh, the cafe will be open with a special menu. What's about the pop-up? Huh?
This is a surprise.
Have an invitation in your folder. They're having their big fundraiser dinner on Monday, and they're going to do their big showcase, and so they are very excited. And if you haven't RSVP'd, please let me know tonight so that we can let them know. But big dinner, were they having gumbo? Yes. All right, and should I ask you because you don't live there? Yeah. All right. Yeah, big night for our robotics team, who are also raising money for Worlds. And it looks like they're going to be at the spring market too. So May, you have a list of important dates in your folder. It is cranking up. And there's also a copy of your 26-27 calendar in the folder. That is all I have.
Yeah, I got something real. Two things. I sent Melinda, I shared with her. So I had a teacher, a quick question. If I resign at the end of the school year, will I still get my 13 checks as I've stayed for the whole 25-26 school year? I thought that I would, but I'm hearing things different. I think as a board, we owe these people, I'm going further than this. The sales tax is not even an issue, the 13 check, as far as it being taken, because I know enough people around this board who has heard the complaints, have heard the concerns. I think the colleague who stated that had the greatest intentions. It was probably said in the wrong fashion, but at the end of the day, I don't think anybody's gonna have to worry about that 13 check being taken away, number one. Number two, I think, and Superintendent and I have talked a lot this week. Melinda and I, John and I, we visited some schools. I think there are times when we allow things to happen too much. And when you don't address them right then and there, they continue to go on, continue to go on, they continue to go on. And then when they get out of hand, we got issues. So for those who are going to be here long after I'm gone, I think you guys need to start looking at how you can make things a little bit better. I think you need to start looking at some of the policies, and I think we owe people to just tell them what the truth is, which is we're not doing all that other stuff. Some of these problems, I'll be the first one to say, we created these problems. We, the board, we did some things that we probably shouldn't have done. But at the time we were doing them, we thought that they were the right thing. So now it's time for us to fix it. If 85% of your budget is, if 85% of your budget comes from salaries, the only way you can fix a budget is you gotta look at salaries. I don't know what we look at, I don't know how we look at it. But as for me in the retreat, I don't care who it is, I'm gonna ask some tough questions from any director, anybody that handles funds in Caldwell Parish school system. We're going to ask those tough questions. We've talked about it. We're only asking to get us out of this hole because it shouldn't go into the 6th year the way that it is 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So we're not pointing the blame at that person, that person. I'm saying collectively we all have done what we probably thought was best then, but as adults we have an expectation out of kids to always do the right thing. Well, it's time for us to do the right thing. We got to make some cuts. We got to get this thing out. We can't go and ask nobody to vote for anything if we don't do what we need to do. So the goal is for the retreat, from my standpoint, is to fact finding. What is it that we need to do to make this better? I don't know what it is because I'm not part of the day-to-day operations. But my obligation as a board member is to set the policy, create an agenda, and hire and fire the superintendent. Those are our 3 jobs. We can't do anything else. So I'm going to do my job. I think you're going to do your job, and I think we're all going to do it respectfully because at the end of the day, we all want the kids here to have the best opportunity. But I think to go another day with the faculty, and there were some people in here who disagreed, and I wish you guys would tell us that you disagree. If there's something that's going on, I like people to tell me where you stand. Don't be afraid. Superintendent can't do nothing to you. Okay, we're not gonna do anything to you. If you disagree, just tell me. Those people left here afraid. They thought that their 13th check that they had worked hard for was gonna be interrupted and taken away. I think we owe it to them to say, no, that's not gonna happen. I'm going on record to say, as far as me and my vote, it's gonna never happen. And if it were to happen, my goal was to challenge it in court because I was one of the original authors of this particular bill, the resolution, that it was spent for salaries and benefits. Now, the way that it was stated, theoretically, you can do that. You can do exactly what the individual indicated. No issue. But I think we just need to be clear and convinced and let people know that we feel you guys' pain because y'all are there every day with these kids. We don't know anything about what goes on until y'all tell us. And most of the time, we hear it on the streets. And the street committee is pretty much 99% incorrect. So at the end of the day, I just wish that if there's an issue, do what I did. Give her the opportunity as a superintendent to do what needs to be done. I didn't give her an opportunity until I decided that she deserved to get that opportunity. She's a good person. She's trying to do the right thing. And some of this, I wouldn't want to be involved with because today when we were talking, there are multiple things that's going on behind the scenes. And we're all a part of it. We just don't know yet. I think we can have a good, credible school system if adults act like adults rather than acting like kids. Have the same expectation that you have of kids, of yourself. Be willing to admit when you make the mistakes. And at the end of the day, when you make a mistake, go to the person and apologize. And I think the principals work their ASS off. Okay, I've seen it. Melinda, you've seen it. Miss Johnny, you've seen it. Gary, you've seen it. Melinda, Maria, Bo. It's a lot going on. And I think everybody deserves to be criticized when you're doing the wrong thing. That's why we have policies. And when that policy is not followed, I have always had the issue, been on this board for 33 years, I've been the chairman of that committee specifically, because I've always wanted the policy to be fair and equitable to everybody. So when there's a policy at your school, Atlanta, or any other school, if you follow the policy, you don't have anything to worry about the next day because you've done the right thing. But the very moment you veer away from that policy is when you created a problem for everybody on this board, because if you don't do it for this person, you have to do the same for the next person. I don't know if anybody else got anything on the retreat, but I think you need to be honest with your expectations, because I didn't expect to be doing this breakout stuff, because I got questions and things that I want to know answers to, and I think that's the appropriate time.
Well, I'd like to add, we went to the convention last week. And we went to several different breakout things. And we had the guy from Bogalusa. Yeah. And he come in, and he was the superintendent, nice young guy. And he was talking and telling different things. And it's just like, if I'm in a meeting and something happens when I'm in that meeting, I said, I don't know anything about it. By the time I get out, 3 hours later, the kid's already called Mama. Mama's already upset. The board members are already screaming and hollering. He said, I don't know anything about it. I've been in a meeting. So you have to give people time to work through a problem. You have to. But it was just really neat. Then we went to another one, and you had a young girl, and she'd been a superintendent, and she was telling you all these different things too, you know. So it's everywhere. St. James 2 years ago lost the plant, so their tax baseline's gone. Natchitoches just lost a plant, so they're going to be hit in 2 years. So it's everywhere that somebody's being hit with something. So we're just trying to swim through and get it done. So it's not easy. Money's set aside to be done this way, and this way. And that's why it's going to be really hard. When we do go to this retreat, it's going to be hard. And people are going to get their feelings hurt, but it's not going to be because we want to hurt your feelings. It's going to be because we have to do this. We have to do this to keep our schools open. Because we're getting to that point. And if that property tax does not pass, then you may as well say goodbye to a lot of your sports and different things like that, because you're going to get down to the basics of what you can afford. And you're not going to have all these extracurricular activities for your kids. So, I mean, stop and think about it before you just get mad and say, I'm going to do so-and-so, so-and-so. Stop, think it through. And I thought I think they taught that when Freddie was in Head Start. When it stop, think about it, you know. So do it as an adult too. And if you've got questions, call us, ask us. Nobody minds. I've been getting emails from different ones. I just thank you for letting me know. Let the principals put a comment box out in front of their office. Write down what you want, stick it in that box, they can bring it to us and we can read it. You know, whenever we have meetings, y'all go back and talk to them and say, hey, this is what they're looking at, what do you think? Write it down, put it in your box, send it to us. But y'all, we've got to have communication. If we don't have communication, we're finished. I'm through, I'm off my box.
Karen, are you really complimenting?
I know,
I didn't
I've
want to
been
say
so
that.
worried about this.
But no,
It scares
Nikki,
me.
seriously, I think she's doing her job as a board member. I think every board member should be actively involved, you know, in schools. They should go and visit, they should listen, and they should be a part of the day-to-day operation. It should go on its own. But Melinda, I think you should stop second-guessing yourself and beating yourself up. You're doing exactly what a board member should be doing. And if it's not accepted or expected by other people, that's fine, but that's your job, which is to fact find and make a decision based off of what you know, not what you've been told. Ms. John, I told you the same thing. Maria, I'll try to tell you, but you lived with me.
It's a snake. But if you want people to come to this parish, you have to stop and think about what you're projecting. When you go out and you just go, you've got to stop and think before you speak. And I have to remind myself to do the same thing. So I'm off of it again.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
It's probably good.